Hello, everyone. It's Shelley again from Transformational Journeys. And here again, I'm going to share another very popular topic with you about developing growth in the Asian market. Firstly, I still want you to appreciate if you could complete the survey through this link. And then we're going to use the results on the survey to develop a better capability program for New Zealand businesses to drive the growth in this potential market. So today's topic is about how to develop our reputation and close businesses. So that's a very a big topic, but I'm going to probably narrow it down to something very practical for you to implement. The first thing you need to remember is about a product authentication. So product authentication is crucial. What I mean by product authentication is if your products comes from New Zealand and even you aim to sell it in Asia, and then it's gonna be good you start branding from New Zealand domestic Asian market as number one priority rather than number two. Because a lot of cases, business cases have demonstrate, businesses fail to do the branding. So they actually target the remote Asia over there, and then they forgot about domestic New Zealand. So what you didn't know behind the scene is when you sell your products in Asia or in China, and then those consumers are super smart. They will call their friends and families here in New Zealand to try to test whether this product is genuine. So that's why a lot of products, they ignore the importance of local branding. They just go one street and then it ends up, why my product is not selling? They still didn't know the reason. The reason is, consumers do their homework. So that's why I strongly suggest you to do your home branding first, rather than before you go to the, big branding, big budget spending in Asia. And then also, when you close your business nowadays, there are so many different ways, but there are basically three channels. The first one is your consumer merchants. So I think I mentioned that before in the previous videos. And consumer merchants actually, they could be your 代购, they could be your even your customer advocate, because nowadays. Everyone can sell things online, especially on social media. And then if they feel your product is genuine enough, is good enough, and they will promote this to their network, because everyone is a media right now. They all have some sort of friends network. And then they all have some sort of influence power. So that's what we call it. So the consumer merchants has become increasingly important for you to engage. And then the other one is the traditional, is the business merchants, B2B market. So you probably still are going to rely on some buyers to buy your program. So they sell to their consumers. So it's still going to be important. But between those two, the third one is you develop your own sales channel, the direct sales channel. Many people has done that on their website and on the social media as well. Like they have we shop, or they have Taobao shop. So they have the direct channel to sell. But among all those channels, the key effective way of promoting your products is called KOL branding. KOL stands for key opinion leaders. So those key opinion leaders doesn't need to be the famous singer or doesn't need to be the glamorous movie star. It's going to be too expensive to you for small, medium business to engage with them, or it's too difficult as well. And so what has happened is there are so many low-profile KOLs on the net. So in your industry, so you need to find where they are. Sometimes they are not very hard to engage. They are outspoken on the social media. So it's make it easy to actually to identify them. And also, you really need to know the approach, to have some, skilled approach to approaching them. So you can either pay a low endorsement fee or pay a free endorsement fee, get a full free. So how to find those KOLs is the biggest question in our webinar. A lot of people want to know the answer. And I often say, really because KOLs varies depends on your industry. So there is no set of rules how to find the KOLs in your the shortcut, say, in the industry, because every industry is different. If I know how to find KOLs in my industry, doesn't mean I know how to find it in your industry. But the general skills we actually teach people in the Growth Pursuit program is actually to equip you with enough knowledge and the questions, and then the skills and the approach to find your KOL. And here I have some general tips. Again, it's very general. It doesn't really apply for to a particular industry. But if you want to know more about that, you really need to go to our Growth Pursuits program and to have this learning process down, and then so you can be more confident to identify them. If you have a big budget, that's what you do. First step, search online, because if you have a big budget, your industry must be big enough, and then the key opinion leaders must be very obvious online. And then you're going to ask your target market to choose and make it a product awareness and brand engagement campaign. Sorry, there was a typo. Yeah. So firstly, you got a series like a list of the names, and then you're gonna give this name to your product to your target market, and then probably making it into engagement campaign as well, because you want to know what your target market think, right? But also don't forget, if one campaign can achieve multiple purposes, that means it's a cost-effective campaign, save your budget. So use this campaign, also build your brand awareness, product awareness, and then by asking them to choose the ideal KOLs for you. The third one is industry feedback. You need to validate that. You need to also ask expert opinion on that. So those are the three general process if you have a big budget. And then if you have a small budget, the first thing you probably want to do is the target market focus group. So comparing with, and to have a big campaign, and then having a focus group is a much smaller budget for you to do. And even you could probably just call for some friends to help you. Maybe you can do it for free. The other thing is, second step is the online voting with some product incentives. So now there are so many tools you can use for the survey. So you could, once you get some insights, and then you really need to empower to let your customer, let your target market to tell you who they want to see in your product. So so make sure the KOLs you found are really resonate with your market. So that's why you can use some free online tools to do it, and providing some incentive, such as your product or some services or some attractive, products your target market want, and then just use some small budget as an incentive. And agent engagement. For example, what I mean by that is, if you target baby products like Mom's Group, and then there are so many. Say, for example, if there were 10 moms group on WeChat, it must be 10 organizers of those group, because each group need an administrator. So those 10 administrators are your agent. You really need to, you don't want to screw up in the relationship. You really want to make a positive, a productive relationship with them, so they can help you. So small investment in the relationship is crucial if you just have a small budget. So that's those tips for you to actually find your KOLs. Again, I don't think this is going to be all for KOL branding, but at least it's something for you to get started. And then if you want to know more, I encourage you to be part of our growth pursuits program, where I'm going to probably analyze your industry and then providing more tips for your businesses rather than just giving you general direction, and you might still making mistake from that. Okay, the question for today is how much time and money you would like to spend to find your KOLs. That's before even you engage, you want to do the KOL branding, you need to think about this question. And the second question is, what are the benefits you can offer and to get free endorsement for them? So if you running a very tight budget, you don't have anything to pay for those KOLs, you need to think harder about what are the benefits do I have I can offer to those KOLs? What are the needs from those KOLs? So also I can match them in order to get a free endorsement. The third question is, what kind of help do you need to find and also maintain an active relationship with KOLs? For example, you don't speak the language, you don't understand a foreign country, like Asian culture. But you know KOL is very important for your branding. So obviously you need some help, right? So, but what kind of help do you need? You really need to figure that out before you engage an agency or hire employee. So that's something we actually teach in our growth pursuits program. So we still, I just recommend you to be part of it so we can know more about your business and provide more tailor-made advice. And then you know exactly, and you have the certainty, you have the confidence in engaging KOLs. That's all about today, and leave a comment or a question. So I will find time to engage and to answer your question, and I really appreciate your time here.